Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be on God's green earth, even if you're in the fifth dimension, it's still green. Maybe it's a few shades brighter. Maybe it's ultraviolet green. I guess it wouldn't be violet to be ultra green. Ultra green. They call it the ultraviolet, but not every color in the ultraviolet spectrum is actually violet, right? That was a weird thing. I never thought about that until this very nanosecond. But I hope that whenever and wherever you happen to be, that in spite of physically struggling, and most of us are physically struggling in one way or two ways, or some of us 15 ways. Everybody's struggling. The ascension symptoms have been all kinds of crazy and off the charts lately. But in spite of that, I want you guys to notice how excessively and extremely easy life has become in other ways. Now, I hope this is the case for you. It has definitely been the case for me. I was absolutely mad last year when my hair it started to turn white, and it was getting whiter and whiter and whiter, and every week I was looking older and older. My hair was just like freaking crazy. It's like I saw a ghost in a cartoon. You guys remember when people's hairs would turn white? You know, they saw a ghost. Now their hair's white. It was like so insane. That was always a joke when I was a kid in cartoons. You know, like suddenly their hair is like standing on end. It's white. They're freaking out. They're, you know, all the color drains from their face, and they're shaking and biting their nails, but the hair turning white, that was always a joke. It was always a joke. So like last year, I was really angry when that was going on, and even though my face started to get younger in some ways, my hair was getting whiter. And right before I moved a couple months ago, I said something to my son about, you know, I'm so glad that I'm looking younger these days. And he said, Mom, you need new glasses. And I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, hell no. And he was right. So I started wearing my reading glasses to look at myself in the mirror. And I was like, oh, damn, I'm starting to age. What the hell? I don't want to freaking age. You know, and all the stuff I was putting on my face, all natural stuff, you know, like sesame seed oil and olive oil and coconut oil, as well as cocoa butter in English, but cocoa means coconut in Spanish, so I always say cacao and cocoa. But in spite of all that, I was actually starting to age. And in the past week, without doing anything at all, with just even forgetting to put anything on my face, I'm actually starting to look slightly younger, and I'm still wearing the reading glasses to make sure. But I've noticed that my face is slightly younger, and I don't know why. Other than I'm sleeping earlier in the evening, and it's easier for me to go to sleep early. It's easy for me to just lay down and fall fast asleep here. It's gotten easier. Whereas before I would toss and turn and struggle, and I wasn't going to sleep till 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. And all of a sudden, I moved to a new house, and I sleep like super fast. I mean, within 5 minutes, it's like, boom, I just fall asleep, and it's good. And I've been waking up, super easy to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning now. I never had that ever in my entire life. I can't even blame it on the ascension. Before anybody even knew about spirituality in the 70s, people were only thinking about sexuality, not spirituality. The other S word. I could never go to bed on time. When I was a little kid, I would toss and turn till 11, 11:30, 12:30, fall asleep around 1, wake up at 2 with a nightmare. My life, my sleeping life has always been a mess, and suddenly it's easy. The coronavirus thing, is supposed to be complicated, and it's hard, and everything is up, just up in the air. We don't know what's going on, but in some ways, didn't that not make life a little easier? We know where we're going to be every day, not outside our homes. The hard part, the challenging part to this, though, and some might argue and say it's an opportunity versus a challenge or a problem or an issue. It all depends on your focus. What word do you wish to use today? I wish to say it's an opportunity to learn and grow as a person inside my home, and it gives me an opportunity to find work at home on the internet. All right, so I'm going to start working online. That's okay. I'm already working online, having the show for you guys. I've been here, almost 500 episodes. It's coming up in like 2.5 weeks. It will have been 500. About mid-July, around the 20th of July, something like that. I've got to look on a calendar and see exactly when that 500th episode's gonna hit. But things have gotten slightly more complicated, but overall, so much easier. So much easier. We're wearing masks all the time now. We don't have to pick out lipstick anymore. The other day, just for fun, I put makeup on. I hadn't put makeup on in like 4 months. What's the point? Not gonna go outside anyway. And I felt good. And every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, wow, I look good. I took pictures of myself, and I revealed one yesterday. It's been maybe 2 years or something since I put up a permanent picture. I think I did like months ago. I think I did maybe one picture of myself, maybe like a year ago or something. I did a couple pictures of myself because I went to my friend's wedding. And I put those pictures on Messenger, the pictures that after 24 hours, they completely obliterate the self-destructing photos. It's just a distant memory, and if someone didn't see it, they missed out. It's it's not a permanent part of your Facebook record. But I actually put a picture of myself up on Instagram at mermaidgirl888 if you want to go check that out. But it was I'm so nervous, I'm so shy, I don't really like to do that. But a lot of people were curious about what I look like. They didn't really say it out loud, but then when I put a cartoon picture, oh, so cute, and I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to reveal what I look like again. It's been a long time since I still have some old pictures from Colombia, like from 4 years ago. I have on my Instagram. Like my main picture on Instagram is when it was like hours after I got robbed. I was robbed twice in like 24 hours or 48 hours, something like that. And I was like devastated emotionally. I was in a state of shock, but I took the picture and it didn't look half bad, so I left it. And by the way, if you ever look at that picture and you see all the artwork on the wall behind me, all of that art is from my oldest kid. She says she now, but she also is gender fluid, so I want to say they, but then I don't think she says they for herself. She was saying he for 2 years, and then she's like, I'm fluid. I'm gender fluid. I'm not really gonna be a fully trans man. She decided not to opt for the surgeries, and I thought for sure, I'm like, let me know if you need me to come up for your top surgery. I'll help you through everything, anything, whatever you need. And she just didn't really, she even had a group that was going to pay for it in San Francisco. And then she's like, no, forget it. I'm fluid. I'm trans fluid. And that's how she identifies. And I'm like, that's awesome. Anyway, so I struggle with it. I think 11% of my audience you guys are not binary. You're non-cis gendered. You're like either fluid or trans. So, when I use typical pronouns, I don't ever mean to offend. I'm trying to always navigate those waters to include everybody and make everybody feel safe and loved. So I'm doing my best, and sometimes I slip up and I'll say a cisgendered thing. So forgive me if I do that. I mean to be all inclusive. It's my intention anyway. My oldest, so she had done all of like the whole, like they didn't really care that we were doing art in our room in the hostel, and it was condemned like about the time we left anyway, so it didn't matter. But all of her artwork, I'm sure it's still there. And so she's just like every day adding more and more cool, trippy, hippie art. But anyway, so I haven't done a picture of myself in a long time, and I did not look very good when I took these pictures. My eyes were really puffy and swollen. I sent this picture of myself to a friend in Sacramento, and she's like, your eyes are so baggy. And I'm like, I had been crying for 2 days when I took those pictures. And it was real. I mean, the picture, it's like, it's real. It's really me. I don't have the kind of makeup that makes your face all perfect, where you have perfect pores and no more bags. I don't have anything like that. I just put on some makeup and took the pictures. And I know my eyes are weird, my face is strange, and I don't know. I don't want to complain about it, because we are all in a process. Like we are effed up when it comes to physicality right now. Even the best of us, or it's like, you look in the mirror one day and one eye is bigger than the other. You look in the mirror the next day, your eyes are fine, but one cheek is bigger than the other, or one side of your face is like drooping, or super tense and tight. I mean, everybody is so screwed up right now physically. Like we're having stomach issues, nausea, we're having, on the verge of vomiting, being very, very sensitive to energy. Someone says something and you just feel you just can't eat. You're off your lunch. You just gotta not eat for a day or two. I mean, that's what's been happening to me. If someone says something a little bit off, it's like, I'm done, I'm out. What's today? Tuesday? I think I'll eat around Thursday. Maybe Friday I'll eat. Like I can't, I get too upset emotionally. I'll force myself to eat, and then I'll just be nauseated the rest of the day because I'm so upset emotionally. energetically, and it's been like, I've been really messed up that way, the emotional thing has been really crazy. Like, today I've been happy, but over the weekend I just spent 2 days being sad and depressed and filled with like solid anxiety. It felt like it was like one of my organs is the organ of anxiety, and it's working so well that it's just this solid brick of anxiety, that it's how I felt, like, just ugh. A lot of you have contacted me and told me that you have so much anxiety and you try to stop it with meditation or trying to, do other things, working out. And whatever used to work before it works a little bit, but like 20 to 30%, no more. The anxiety is still there. So we have to keep, letting it go. I decided I'm going to buy a Buddha bracelet. I don't know if you guys have heard of this feng shui obsidian wealth bracelet with it has a little bead on it. It's the little Chinese dog. Oh my gosh. Pi Yao, I think it's called. And so I want to buy it, and I've been wanting it for a while. I thought, maybe in a year. And now I'm like, I'm probably going to get it this week. I'm going to try to order it as soon as possible. I'm going to get one for my kid. It's supposed to heal your... I didn't know any of this until today. I thought it was just to attract wealth, and I thought, well, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I started looking into the actual website because I heard a cool commercial, so hey, advertising works. And I went to the website and I was like reading, and it says that it balances your first chakra. It clears out the energy left in your womb by past lovers. It says that on the website. I'm like, whoa, that's deep, man. It's super, super duper, super duper metaphysical and spiritual. I'm like, oh my God, I need this thing so bad. And it takes out all the negative energy around you, and it puts you in a happy state of mind so that you don't have to be unhappy ever again. And I started looking in the instructions, and I thought it was going to say, just wear it with the dog facing out so it can look for wealth, feng shui stuff, which it does. And it says to make sure you wear it on your dominant hand. Okay, so if you write with your right hand, wear it on your right wrist. Okay, easy. And then it says some really strange things, like you have to face the dog towards your front door and leave the bracelet in your living room when you go to bed at night. That it's not allowed in your bedroom. I'm like, what? What? It sounds so weird. What? It's like an actual dog going to take care of your house and protect you from evil energies and evil spirits and evil entities. It even says that. And it's supposed to be staring at your front door, like waiting for, I don't know what. And why isn't it allowed in your room? It's so weird. And maybe it does battle with demons at the door. I don't know. Or negative entities, negative energies. But I was blown away by this website. It's like really, really trippy. And they have the most beautiful jewelry from China. Oh my God, like actual stones like citrines and onyx and obsidian and amethyst. Jade. Ugh, I love jade stuff. But yeah, the dog is not allowed in your bedroom. It's like a real dog. I don't let any kind of dog, men that are dogs, not actual dogs, not even wolf dogs. And now I can't even let my bracelet that has a dog on it in my bedroom. What the hell? Oh God, that was like the weirdest thing. I'm like, this is getting more and more intriguing by the moment. The more I look into these things, the more I research it. So I'll let you guys know the more that I research it. But I felt the energy of it already, though, looking at the bracelet. And then I imagined it on my wrist. And this overwhelming sense of calm already came over my body. This happiness energy came over my body. This positivity came over my body. And I'm like, well, this is really strange. And I started realizing that everything is coming easy now. We're in the fifth dimension. Guys, we're here. We're here. And everything is becoming easy because we have a better quality access to magical energy. Have you felt it? Even though your body's just like, your body's like not really in phase. I mean, it's been all kinds of crazy with the physical body has been nuts lately, but everything else has gotten a lot easier. It's been a really crazy conundrum. I know that for me, everything's gotten easier. I mean, I have my groceries delivered once a week. I call a maid. I can afford a maid suddenly, where before I was paying $10 an hour. I had a maid for $5 an hour before, and she wasn't really a maid. She was just doing it for fun on the side every week. But then something weird happened with her. I hope she's okay. She did some crazy things on her last day, and I guess she knew she was never coming back. She left some things dirty that made it very obvious that she wasn't coming back. But she was working at the grocery store, and then one day we went there, and no one had heard from her in weeks. And we're like, what the hell? We asked her cousin. He's like, I'm not worried. And we got a really weird feeling like she died or something. But he said she never told anybody where she was going. I'm like, but she did mention a lover in Colombia. So maybe she just took off and went to Colombia and started a new life. I don't know. But anyway, she was a weird person, but $5 an hour is all she wanted. That's all she's making at the grocery store. Actually, she was making less, like $3.65 or something. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you $5 an hour if that's okay with you. And I honestly, is that okay? She's like, oh yeah, it's fine. She liked to clean. It was easy. She was fast. I'm like, all right, cool. That worked. It worked for me. But then after that, $10 an hour, and all of a sudden, my landlady, who's an incredibly wonderful person, I absolutely love her, that became easy. Where we live is just so beautiful that we want to keep it clean. We are cleaning. We got lazy for 2 or 3 days because of these weird cosmic energies, and we're just so tired. But yet when we decide to clean, it just becomes easy again. I've noticed that easiness. It's coming. And like last night, I just was like, I'm in pain. I want to take medicine that will keep me from being in pain when I wake up. My back was hurting. And before, when I took anything for my back, aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen, nothing was working. I mean, for months, nothing was working for any pain. I just stopped taking it because I'm like, it's not going to work. And a couple nights ago, I took a very low dose of ibuprofen. Normally, I need 600 to 800 milligrams. I took 200. That's all I had. And within an hour, my back just, everything went into place. My neck felt great. I woke up feeling great. I'm like, wait, whoa. It actually worked. Life has gotten easier. It's gotten easier. When I was anywhere and everywhere, I mean, I lived in 6 countries with my kids. Since 2012, we have lived in 6 different countries. And every single stinking place we've been in, when something goes wrong with animals that are stray animals, no one has been willing to help or do anything. Nobody has given a crap about it. And we ran into this again and again and again. We watched as a dog ran across the street when a car was coming, and we saw a dog die right in front of us. And all these little kids were with us, and my kids, we were all in shock. It was a dog that we knew, and she looked like this other dog that was my protector. We went to this place in Guatemala, Livingstone, and this dog was my protector. Everywhere we went, she was my ever faithful companion, and she was a wonderful dog, very sweet, very loyal. And this other dog looked like her sister, and we were like so bummed. We're like, oh my God, we think this dog is related to the dog that loves us. And she was locked at the hostel inside the gate and didn't get to see that, thank God, right? But no one gave a crap. So we brought flowers and laid flowers on her, at her head and on her body, and we were saying prayers, and the children lit a candle, and we had a little ceremony for her, because all these little boys really loved her, and it was really sad, and is giving them closure. And this guy just walked up and he goes, that's enough of that. Don't be filling them heads with, anything, crazy. And then he grabbed her by the hind legs, her body, and just threw her in the trash. It was absolutely devastating. The lack of concern for life. And that's the kind of attitude we had. I mean, in Guatemala, they were poisoning cats. Crazy. When we went to Peru, right before we got there, there was a park filled with dogs, and they had killed all the dogs. Someone went through and just poisoned all the dogs. It was this kind of absolute disregard for life that we have seen in all of our travels. In fact, when we found anyone that was compassionate, we were so grateful. We were in just shock, like, oh my God, until this week, when our beautiful white Lobo, our 25% wolf, 75% dog creature, when he came over the other night, and I recorded the show with him in the living room, and he was in a lot of pain, and he was itching, and it was really bad. They took up a collection for him, and Goatee, who owns this apartment or this house, and we both donated $10 each, and like 3 of the other neighbors donated $10 each for the care of this dog that nobody owns, by the way. He's just a stray dog, but he comes and stays with me once in a while, and Blackie stays with me, his sister, and he's solid white, she's solid black. It's super cute. They're like yin and yang dogs, and they're obviously part wolf though, and they will come in and hang with us a lot. Well, they are protectors of this block, and all the people on the block are like, one lady drove him to the doctor, and another lady is taking care of him in her house at night. He's got a giant cone on his head. It's hysterical. Poor little Lobo. But and by the way, please continue to pray for little Lobo, because he's so sweet. Even when he's not being sweet, it's because he's trying to protect the block, right? So he's a little bit mean to other dogs, but he's definitely an alpha dog, that's for sure. But I just saw this outpouring of love just on our block. I won't say the whole community, But just this outpouring of love for him. Everybody loves him. It became easy. I mean, before it would be like pulling teeth to get anybody to lift a finger, let alone donate money, let alone bring an animal to a veterinarian. In all the places I've lived until now. It blew my mind that the minute someone noticed it, I mean, they only let it go for like 1 day or 2 days. And I think it happened like on Thursday. And then on Saturday, this lady said, that's it, I'm taking him on Monday when the vet opens again. And that was it. He needs a couple more injections. It's going to take a few weeks for his tail and his side to heal. I think he has the mange. Juanita, the neighbor, said she thinks it was chemicals from one of the gardeners, I guess left some chemicals out and he sat in the chemicals, but I don't think it's that. It looks like mange. I've seen this in 6 different countries. I've seen dogs of all kinds, all breeds, go through the same thing. So, but it made me happy. Like, things are easy out of nowhere. Even though it's physically hard for Lobo, it was easy for him to get treatment. That's what I mean. It's so strange. Like, I'm seeing this example. The more I think about it, the more I think of other examples. It's just, things are easy. Things are easier. Like, I ordered some things from the grocery store, and the lady who was shopping for me today, I was WhatsApping with her back and forth. She had asked me a question, this isn't available, but we have this other brand. Well, the other brand is less money for more grams or milligrams or whatever. It was like a physical struggle for a minute, but everything was made easier. I'd ordered pre-made hamburgers that were frozen. They were out of it, but instead she bought a kilo of fresh meat for more money, but somehow the company covered it. It was like more of a struggle physically, but it was easier in a way because it was, not frozen, a little bit hard because I have to physically, shape the meat patties or whatever, but at the same time it was higher quality, and it was like a little bit more money than what I paid already because I prepay and then they buy the groceries. But for whatever reason, things are easier. All these weird things, like over and over and over again, these examples are coming up in such a weird thing. I would never have put these things together before, and suddenly this is the way I see that it is. Like, somebody wrote me saying that he has really bad acne, and it's been painful emotionally, painful physically, and he's worried emotionally about all kinds of things, being teased. He's being teased by his family, and the scars that might be there later. He's worried about all this. And he was like, they don't have an opening for another month. What am I going to do? So it was like a physical, painful thing. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, he's like, I already have my appointment today. I can't believe it. And it was like so easy. The physical pain, but then it was easy. And over and over and over again. Over and over. So I hope that you guys can notice that in your life and see where it's like, even though it's been a physical pain, everything suddenly is easy. It's so weird. I didn't tell you guys yesterday I had a fight with a spider, or a weird kind of telepathic conversation with this spider in my bathroom. It looked kind of like a charcoal gray and has like white and yellow stripes on its back. It looks kind of creepy, but also kind of cool. And I went to the bathroom and I'm washing my hands, and I couldn't really see his face, but he had energy about him of, don't you dare try to take my fly. And I noticed that in his little spider mandibles, he had a fly that was the same size as half of his body. And it was a little fly, so he wasn't a very big spider. And I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to take your fly. You know? I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, why are you afraid? Like, I'm not gonna, I'm like, hey, and you know what, buddy? Good for you. And I put my thumbs up and pointed out, like, hey, good for you. Good for you. You got, it's like, it'd be like if I took down, an animal the size of, half my body, like a dog. If I, found a super chicken, walked around with that in my mouth. I mean, I don't know. It was like crazy. I was like, I'm not going to take your fly, but good for you, buddy. You did it. Yeah. Giving love and support and encouragement to weird ass spiders in my bathroom now. And then I went to wash my hands, and I noticed that there was a dead gnat on my counter, and I poked at it a little bit, and it was definitely dead. It was upside down. It was stiff, so I'm like, okay, whatever. And I kind of blew it, and it flew onto my floor, because I thought, well, I'm going to sweep later anyway, so all right. I did that, and I got this energy from the spider, like, you mean you're not going to eat that? It's like, no, I'm not going to eat a fucking gnat, dude. And he was like, he looked at me like, wait, I'm like, you have this massive fly in your mouth, and you want this little gnat? This is like nothing. What is this, like your appetizer? And he was just like all disappointed that I disregarded the food, the available food. It was one of the weirdest moments I've had. Well, I mean, you guys know me. I have weird moments all the time, but it was one of the weirder moments of the past week. Let's just say that. It was one of the weirdest moments I've had this week. Not ever. Not even close to the weirdest ever, but it was a weird moment yesterday morning. Just a weird moment. And there's a lot more bugs that I've noticed in the past. Well, since we got here, there's a lot more variety. And a B-52 came up to me yesterday and buzzed me. Freaked me out. I screamed and ran from it. And I went back to show my son where it was, and he saw nothing, so he just thought I was crazy. I mean, those things are huge. They're like they're like when I make a fist, that's how big they are. They're huge. I mean, I've got small hands, but I mean, still, they're pretty damn big. Mosquito hawks, I guess. But, even with that, even though I've been physically in pain and struggling, I could get up and move. It's easier suddenly. I could get up and move faster. I noticed that I'm racing up the stairs really quick without thinking about it. I'm not going slow. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not taking breaks. When I first got here, I was just like so out of shape because I'd been stuck in the house due to COVID-19 for weeks. Months, 2.5 months, something like that. I hadn't really done much. I was just a slug, man. Just walking back and forth between my bedroom and the living room and the kitchen, and that was it. Not a lot of exercise. And now I'm up and down those stairs 6, 7, 8 times a day. I have a bladder like a gerbil, so I'm getting pretty thin over here. Going up and down them stairs because I'm also a Virgo and I have a really pretty bathroom, and so I want to go to the bathroom in my bathroom. The social bathroom is darker and more hovely. It's really tiny. It's kind of a gray blue, that weird 80s blue that was so chic back in the day. And it's not an ugly bathroom, but it's tiny and it's not inspirational. And right now we've got a lot of stuff in there because that's where we light up the cosmic death ray. You know, the UV light with the ozone, because we're still going through our stuff. You know, I've had a load in there of stuff for like 2 days now. I'm almost at the end. I want to do it one more time, run it through that light one more time. It's all my art supplies, so I want to make sure. And then we have to take cloths and hand wipe down everything we own. And if it's like, I have a sheet in there now that I have to wash, so I'm ozoning it like 3-4 times to make sure none of the mold from the other place, none of that black mold is in there, none of the green mold or the red mold. It was all this mold came up out of nowhere. Like one day we're like, I'm getting a little bit of an allergy. That's weird. Look around, I don't see anything. Till the next day, my wooden floor was green. The whole thing on one half of my room. And my son's closet bloomed. Everything was blooming in mold. It was absolutely damn nightmare. Anyway, you know, things are better overall. Things are better overall. Easier, even though physically we're struggling. It's so strange. You know, I've been thinking, it's like I need extra money, I need extra something, I need to get going. You know, I lose all of my income in October. And I'll be stuck in a foreign country without money to fly anywhere. So I need to make my life work, right? And yesterday, out of nowhere, I just got this ability to apply for a micro grant I didn't even know existed. It's brand new. I applied and I have a feeling I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the micro grant. $1,000 towards business services, which is what I need. So that, you know, so like that was easy. Today was the first day that you can nominate me in the People's Choice Podcast Awards. When I take a break in a moment, you guys are going to hear, I made a little blurb on it that I will play for the next 31 days so that you will know exactly what to do to go nominate my show. And when you do, you're helping me with promotion, basically helping me with getting the word out. And if I could win this award, that would be cool, because then I'll get advertisement for a full year for free, because they'll say these are the people who won. And that's going to help me out. It'll help me get money, because I mean, like I said, I'm losing every bit of my normal income coming up quick. And with your Mercury retrograde and all the millions of planets in retrograde and all the junk that's been happening, I have just not been able to, you know, my computer had been hacked. There was viruses. There was a lot of issues with it. My son informed me that if I turn it on and connect to the internet here right now without getting it taken care of, it will infect my internet connection forever, because it'll get in the modem, and the modem itself will be hacked and infected and virus and everything. Oh my God, that's crazy. I didn't know that it went that deep, right? I'm like, either you're being paranoid or I'm not informed. He's like, you're not informed. And he started showing me videos and articles. I'm like, forget it, I believe you. Made me exhausted for a minute just thinking about this stuff. But I'm like, all right, fine. So now I have to go through my computer, and every bit of writing, every bit of artwork I created, every video I shot, every picture I took, everything I'm storing on that computer. I have this external hard drive. I got to put everything on the external hard drive. And then I have to delete everything on my computer, push the factory reset button, and then take it to a specialist who has to go through every, I don't know, millibyte. I don't even know if that's a thing. But every little teeny tiny bit of that computer has to be scrubbed for hackers and viruses, and then I have to have an anti-hacker program installed, and then I could go back and use my computer again. Such a pain in the arse. Such a pain in the arse. So that's the kind of crap I've been going through. Like, that's ugh. And in the meantime, I have all these business ideas. I cannot implement anything until Mercury goes direct, or else when Mercury goes direct, it's kaput. And I don't want it to be kaput. So I'm just like, I want to start my TESOL certification, but I can't even apply for jobs until Mercury is direct, because I know how that goes. You get a job, everyone's enthusiastic about you, Mercury goes direct, and all of a sudden they believe anything about you that's not even true, and you lose your job. I know, I've been there, done that. Every year, in fact, for years and years, I did that. I'd get a job, and I'd be like, well, I'll take the rest of the summer off, but I want to work. So I'd always get a job during Mercury retrograde. 2 or 3 weeks later, it'd go direct, I'd get fired. But I'd have enough money to coast through the rest of the summer. This happened every year. At first, I was infuriated. How come I always get fired in the summer? And then I realized, well, when you get a job during Mercury retrograde and you're a Virgo, it's just not a good mix for sustainability. But anyway, but yeah, everything suddenly is becoming easier. This morning, I put my announcement on Instagram that you can nominate me for this award, and within 4 hours, I had 11 new subscribers on Instagram, which are followers, which was strange because I usually get maybe 3 or 4. So all of a sudden I got like 11 or 12. Like, what? That's so cool. Everything, even though it might be a physical struggle, when you put in that little bit of effort, all of a sudden everything becomes easy. It's very, very strange. All the examples. So anyway, I want you to notice it in your life and see if it's not true for you as well. If it is, then it's definitely a part of the ascension thing. It's just an ascension symptom, I guess. Very, very weird stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get to it before I hop into the actual program. First, let's see here. You guys might, even though I think I look very weird in this picture, but you guys might actually like this picture. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, even though I think I look totally screwed up. Like, hey, you guys, this is just what I look like right now. All right. And no one has said anything except I have one friend who said, yeah, it's weird to look at people at a different angle. That's all he said. And then my other friend said, your eyes are really baggy. Like, it was urticaria. I have urticaria. It's a condition of the water weight gain problem that I have. It's genetic, and sometimes I look thin and beautiful and wonderful, and other times I have really puffy face or really puffy cheeks or eyes, and I'll gain like 20-30 pounds of water weight over the course of 1 or 2 days. So I'll look really thin one day and then really fat 2 days later, and I lose the water weight again, and I'm back to being thin again. It's very, very weird. But going up and down these stairs is draining my lymph system. I'm loving it. I'm looking thinner. I'm like, yes, baby. Even though it's physically hard to go up and down those stairs, life is becoming easier. There's another example. All right, so spacedweather.com, we're going to turn there now. The solar wind speed right now is 323.7 kilometers per second. The new solar cycle sunspot struggled to emerge there on the sun at the lower left half. But now it is in a form of decay, which means no more threats of sunspots. They're just not happening. In fact, it's been 3 days without a sunspot now. There's a little article about Neowise Comet if you want to check it out, and another one about why the noctilucent clouds have been so wavy lately, in case you're interested in this crazy phenomena. This is what's keeping the skies lit up over Europe right now, so you might want to pay attention to this if you're in that area. So the cosmic radiation is thus: the Oulu neutron counts report coming out of Oulu, Finland, is that they are at a very high level. That's 10.5% of the national space average, and it is a 0.3% rise in the past 48 hours. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, this is fun. I could feel it right now being bombarded by solar wind, and I know it happened a little bit earlier today, but here's a new one, and the sun looks all kinds of messed up. If you go to spaceweather.com, you're going to see what I mean. Over to the far left, halfway down the page, it says coronal holes, and it says 1st of July 2020, and it says coronal hole, and there's like arrows, and there's like the top half of the sun looks like it's missing, like a big slice of pie is gone, and the bottom part of the sun, there's another coronal hole, which is how you get the solar winds flowing out. So solar wind flowing from this northern coronal hole could brush Earth's magnetic field, that's all we need, on July 6th and July 7th. So in my experience, some of you will feel it early because you're very, very affected by energies, and if it's a strong presence, you're going to feel it in your aura before it even gets here, if you're an empath. So anyway, I'm like overwhelmed right now with the energy I'm feeling, so I'm going to take a quick break after I get through these websites that we typically go to, because I'm just like, I'm starting to get out of it again. It's weird. I was feeling so clear a little bit ago. So yeah, on July 5th and 6th, so 4 days from now, you guys are going to feel this all over again. All right, in the world of the fireball, the NASA's All-Sky Fireball Network and their all-sky cameras have captured, here's my favorite number and yours, 13 fireballs, and they were all sporadic. So yeah, of course. So there's that. I think that's all I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm done with this page. So 13 fireballs exploding over the U.S. Crazy, right? Oh, the other day, remember, it was like, 30? That was nuts. Oh, I just was on this page. All right. So the Schumann Resonance today, coming out of disclosurenews.it. This is the one that's usually pretty mild as far as Schumann Resonance is concerned. I'm waiting for it to load. It was all uploaded, but 7.83 hertz frequency is the original base point of the Earth for a long time. In fact, the entire time they've been measuring the Schumann resonance of the Earth is pretty much how long it's been measured, and it's always been around 7.83 with the random fluctuations. But here it is in the the one part on the Earth that records it has the prettiest website that everybody flocks to in droves, and the numbers are super low. Power 47 is the best they could do, and there was a couple peaks at 38, but I did say 40. Yeah, 47 hertz frequency. It's kind of a lot, not really. 47, that's not too bad. The fifth dimension starts at the hertz frequency of 40. the fifth dimension starts at 40 hertz frequency. So, you know, for them to be at 47, that should be standard by now. So I don't know what's going on with the Italy energy, but you guys will be thrilled, beyond thrilled to know that we are all caught up, at least until Monday, 2 days ago. Finally, on heartmath.org, they did some updated information. So I'm going to tell you what's going on in the world right now. In California, on Monday, the 29th of June, at the 2300 hours, so practically Tuesday, California was at 116 hertz frequency. Hofuf, Saudi Arabia was at 0 hertz frequency. And I don't know why on earth it goes to nothing in some places. It's very weird. In Lithuania, they were at 336 hertz frequency. And Northland, New Zealand, New Zealand. In Northland, New Zealand, they were at 94 hertz frequency at the 2300 hour on Monday. And last but not least, Honolulu, South Africa, they saw a value of 159 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. So, I mean, that's a little bit more like it. That's what I expect, 116, 94, 159. Those are all, within like 20 points of each other. Well, maybe 159 is maybe 40 points, but still. And then 336, it's huge. I don't know why Saudi Arabia is at 0. A few weeks back, they were the biggest number, period, on the chart. So now they're at 0. It's very odd. All right. Let's see where we're at on time here. All right. 3 minutes remaining, so we better go quick. We are on lesson 324 in A Course in Miracles. ACIM.org is where you go to check this out. This is the website for the Foundation of Inner Peace. So I'm going to read the article. I'm going to read the lesson to you today. And you can go ahead and look anytime on A Course in Miracles app or at acim.org if you wish to reiterate it. Go back and read it again. Okay. Lesson 324 is this. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry, and we cannot stay, except an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. So amen to that. I merely follow for I merely follow, for I would not lead. So there you go. I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and when I come back, I'm going to be channeling tonight the Arcturian Council. This was God's idea, not theirs, but they are here with me. Earlier when I contacted them, I was very, very sleepy, connected with them, and all of a sudden, boop, I felt a lot better and very clear. But now I'm getting bombarded by all kinds of radiation from the cosmos and possibly solar wind. So I'm going to take a break. It might even be an hour long. and then I'll come back and channel for you guys. I wanted to thank you for voting for me. A lot of you have already done so. You've already written to me and told me, so thank you guys. I'm going to be right back right after this message with the Arcturian Council. Yay! It's that time of year, guys. Finally. OMG. I am up for not only one, but 2 People's Choice Podcast Awards this year. I had no idea. I just found out. Okay, the voting starts today, July 1st, and goes through the 31st of July. And I need you guys to nominate my podcast. This is how you do it. Go to podcastawards.com and you have to sign up in order to nominate me, in order to vote. And you have to go to the very first category at the top, and it's the Adam Curry's People's Choice Podcast Award. And I'm way down on the list because, M, Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, and you just click that, and then when you're done with that section, you go to the religion and spirituality category, and again, cast your vote for Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, and then you have to go way at the bottom part of the page, and say, save my nominations. And that's it. It's that simple. It takes less than 2 minutes, probably 1 minute if you have high-speed internet, of course. It's not that much. You can even do this on your phone. It's super, super simple. I voted for myself on my tablet. OMG. So thank you for your continued support and listenership and voting for this show, because by doing so, you're keeping the show alive and we're getting the word out so that other people can benefit from my expertise. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hi guys, I'm back after a long nap. And poof, just like that, it's 3:20 a.m. Literally almost 2.5 hours. I've been just fighting this massive wave of cosmic energy and solar wind energy and only God knows what the heck kind of energy. Oh, goodness. So, all right, I've got a friend in Sacramento. She would probably be upset if I said her name on the air, because she's an extremely private person, but God knows who she is. I want to ask you guys, just send love and light and healing energy to my friend who's in Sacramento. She just told me, I knew that she had been sick, but I didn't realize the extent of it. She was in the hospital from January until May because of problems with her leg, but she won't tell me what it is. I mean, like, really private person, right? And then she has just been walking with a walker. Now, the last time I saw her, she was, beyond spry. She was very healthy. She was in her 60s, but she was working, and she was very, very healthy, and everything was good. But she's got a little bit of karma coming her way for sure. But like we all have. But this seems a little excessive. Like January through May, she was in the hospital. Now she can't walk without a walker, and she can't work because of her leg, but also because of coronavirus. So, I don't know, just please send love and light to my friend in Sacramento. It's weird because I just heard from somebody yesterday who's going to start listening to the show from Sacramento. I thought that was very strange. Like, we had this amazing conversation, and then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, and by the way, I'm in Sacramento. Like, oh my gosh. Which means sacrament in English, so that might mean something to some of you. That might be a sign of something you've been looking for. There's an energy of something else. Oh, so I bought a gallon of water, and I've been drinking sink water for like a week or something. Doesn't taste all that. It's not very good. It's not unhealthy, supposedly. But I bought this water, this mineral water, and I'm thinking, oh, well, it's good because, minerals. Hey, maybe we need the minerals, so all right, let's do it. And it's not with gas. When you buy water here, you either buy agua con gas, water with gas, or agua sin gas, water without gas. That's like how they classify water in the Spanish-speaking world, with or without gas. And so this is just normal, plain water without the carbonation, which in the United States is called either tonic water with quinone or just soda water, right? Club soda is what we call it, or soda water. I used to put juice mixed with the soda water and told my kids that's what having a soda is. I mean, it took them, maybe 10 years before, like, they had Coca-Cola or anything. They were like 10 or something before out in the real world finally allowed to have a sugary soda, and they were like, what the heck? What have you been making us? Cranberry soda with club soda. But everyone likes the spritzer, right? But yeah, I just tried to limit what, the sugar my kids had, except for Halloween's and Easter's. That was our, and Christmas, holidays, they could have sugar. But anyway, so yeah, agua con gas or sin gas. Oh, so, with or without gas. But I drank this water, and it was like, I don't know how to explain it, like very ethereal. Like, I felt the energy move with the energy of my body, and it all felt very light, and it felt very more like a mixing and blending of energies instead of physicality. I feel less physical than I did even like a week ago. What the hell? What the heaven? I don't know, guys. Have you had this experience yet? I've been trying to eat food and I could barely taste it, and I was thinking, coronavirus. Oh my God. But also, things are different. I don't know how to explain what I've been experiencing today, other than I feel lighter. I've been imagining my body as thinner, and suddenly, since about a week ago, all of a sudden my body's quite a bit thinner, and things are getting really easy. It's got to be the interdimensional shift that we've all been going through. Like, I don't have, I don't have a reference for this. Just taking everything in stride and hoping it all turns out, like okay for everybody. I think it is. I think it's going to be. But I mean, this has been kind of a little crazy, Drinking the water just now, that kind of knocked me for a loop a little bit. Kind of threw me. Reminds me a little bit of when I was after I dropped LSD one time, and my first time actually, and I was washing my hands, and I felt like I was washing my hands down the sink. I'm like, well, that's new. My fingers melted and went down the drain, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to get back? That kind of was terrifying. And then I came back to my boyfriend at the time, and with my stub of arms that was left, and I told him what happened, and he says, well, I could see your fingers, you're fine. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand. I looked down and I watched them grow back, and I'm like, damn, that was crazy. It was really good acid. And that was the only time I've ever felt this kind of interaction, or being blended together energetically with water. And I haven't dropped any acid in a couple years, so I don't know. I think this is an interdimensional thing, like a higher dimensional frequency, energetic exchange thing. So I don't know if any of you are going through this kind of crazy thing, but food is not satisfying me as much as it did before. Having different flavors and different things. Like, I had a hamburger today. It was very good. It was very solid. And that was very strange. It was very, very dense and very solid compared to other things I've been eating lately. And nothing I can compare it to really, but healthier than anything I've gotten in the States, maybe ever. Usually if you eat ground beef, there's a lot of oil that comes out of the meat, and nothing came out of this. It was extremely lean, I guess, but eating it felt good. It felt solid, to eat it. I don't know how to explain this. I feel kind of crazy even talking about it like this. Just I'm experiencing food in a completely different way suddenly. And now that I'm realizing that, like, yeah, that was a strange experience. Am I full? I don't even know. I'm not, like, aware of it. I did take a naproxen. I just took an naproxen sodium. I haven't had one of those in years. Maybe that's affecting me somehow, but I thought it would help my arthritis. Actually, I have a lot less pain. I'm like, damn, I haven't had medicine for arthritis pain in a long time, and it's actually working. So I'm like, hey, that's good. But I mean, the mustard I had on the hamburger was very good. It tasted amazing. You know, but like I could like the flavors I could taste, so it's not coronavirus. But it's, I don't know how to explain this other than I'm feeling less dense. Like that hamburger was very dense, and I could tell the density of it versus the bread, which felt a lot more lighter. I had nuts earlier, which were a different flavor than normal. Maybe there was natural acid on them, and I'm tripping my balls off here. I don't know. I feel strange. I do know that I was just bombarded with tons and tons and tons of cosmic radiation, and I could feel when it passed. And now I'm awake again, and my Arcturian council, they're here with me. I'm going to channel them tonight. They just have a short message. So, are you guys going to channel more than 30 minutes? They said no. So you are going to channel for 30 minutes about, they're saying about that. All right, I'm already connected with them. I am an indirect channel in case you're new to the show. If that is the case, welcome. Glad to have you here. I channel the Arcturian Council. They are a collection of 9 beings. They're from the 9th dimension. If you want to hear more about dimensions, I did channel the blueprinters of the Earth last night. First time ever talking with them and feeling that energy. It was very interesting. But the Arcturian Council, they're very high vibration. They are here to help humanity. They don't have an agenda. They're not even physical. They just want to send their love and support and their light. And I don't know if it's the same Arcturians that are channeling through Daniel Scranton, but his channels are always very high vibration. If you want to listen to him, danielscranton.com is his website. You could go sign up and get the newsletter every day. He channels one little tiny message, like a 5-minute message every single day from the Arcturians. And then he puts it out on his email list and on his Instagram, so you could look at him up on IG too. He's pretty cool. I think he's also on Facebook. He does all the social medias. And he's been doing this for a long time, and he has enough money coming in from YouTube, I guess, that he's actually supporting his wife and his little child and their dog. So it's pretty cool. I think he has a cat too. He's actually a pretty cool person. I've interacted with him a little bit, but he's been doing this for years and years, and I've been channeling for years, but no one knew except for last year. So publicly, I've only been channeling for about 1.5 years. So anyway, without further ado, I just want to let you know, people do not take over my body when I channel, although my rhythm and cadence of my voice will change, because I try to relate to you what they're saying to me in the way they're saying it, so you get the full experience to the best of my ability. But I don't channel directly. I'm an indirect channel. I use telepathy, my gift of clairvoyance, clairaudience. So I'm going to say Ki Asha, Ki Asha, Ki Asha. That helps to open up my third eye so I could see what they're sending, and helps with the general channeling. And that is a Pleiadian phrase. And haven't quite been landing yet, but they've been coming very close to us. A lot of light ships all over the world. The one in Mexico was incredible, just hovering above the ocean. In Vegas, people aren't reacting too well in Vegas, but we're getting there. All right, please, you may start your transmission now. Welcome, Arcturian Council. Am I connected with you? Muscle testing does say yes. I do use muscle testing as a backup sometimes, so here we go. Arcturians, are you there? Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are always pleased to speak with all of you, and we are grateful always for the opportunity to be of service to others. We will say humanity in this capacity, but we do spend a great deal of our time being in service to beings that do not consider themselves human, but rather other groups from other planets, from other planetary bodies and celestial bodies, as well as, well, other universes. But we don't want to, what's the word, freak you out, as to say in your idiom. Oh my God, that one made me choke. That one's hilarious. So, okay. Where to begin today? We would like to let you know that, first of all, we wish to spread a message of love. We do love you. We love all of you. You are a unique race in this universe. You are a unique species, if you will, because you contain DNA from many, many, many races. You were born in third-dimensional bodies that are created from the very stardust that was there in the beginning. That makes your brand new bodies ancient. That makes your every breath a living library of what was in the past. You are keys to many forms of DNA. Oh, I'm getting like the weirdest chill. Are you guys touching my head? Yeah, they're touching my head. What are you guys doing? They're touching the back of my head. I feel like they're behind me now. What are you guys doing? We are adjusting your vibrational energy. We are helping you tap into your crystalline body and making your adjustment phase period to be a little bit less strenuous and stressful. We have been noticing as you are, they're saying the word convinced. Are you guys saying convinced? There's a word like convinced, conniving. That's not the right word, but oh, I'm getting the chills. They're doing something to me in my spine, my upper spine, and my head. What are you guys doing? I'm getting, tinglies all the way from the back of my scalp forward, up and forward. Okay. In many ways, what we're doing is maybe considered a galactic massage. We are giving you an energetic boost up so that you can go up one faster and quicker with less debris in your energy field. We shall do this for all of your listeners who invite us to help them. All right, so they're basically saying, guys, just ask them, Arcturian Council, please help me with boosting my energetic field and help me to go up one. They're just saying like going up a rung in the fifth dimension, because we're already in the fifth dimension. This is just helping to boost us a little faster and up in vibration. Okay. I'm feeling pain and pressure in my middle spine, guys. They're saying we'll get to that soon, in a moment. Yeah, I'm feeling crazy. I feel like my head is expanding a little bit like a balloon. It's just a weird thing to say, but I feel an expansion taking place. I feel like they're vibrating my bones, and they're like becoming less dense, more crystalline, like see-through clear crystalline. It's what I'm feeling right now. We may begin again to continue the transmission, they said. Okay. I think this is a way, guys, for them to work through me easier. I'm feeling a little bit more clear. Hold on a minute. I'm going to pause this for a second, put on my sweater. I'm getting cold, which is weird. Usually I get hot during these times. All right, I'm back. I'm all bundled up. I have my long underwear on. Top and bottom thermals. Really thick socks. Sitting on my warm bed. House is all cozied up. Everything's closed. All the doors and windows. And now I've got this huge alpaca sweater on, so I'm nice and warm, but I'm still here in the Andes Mountains. It gets chilly. Chilly at night. Okay. Okay, please continue with your transmission, Arcturian Council. So as we are saying that you are a living library, you are a fun book to read if one would be a galactic geneticist. We can energetically read you. We don't need to take a sample of your clipping of your fingernail or of your hair, but you have been a source of fascination for beings all the universes over, all the dimensions over. You have had a problem, we might say, issue, you might say, for most of your lives and most of your parents' and grandparents' lives. There's been a sense that you are not all that important, that you live on a speck of a planet in the middle of nowhere, and it looks like God has forsaken and or abandoned you. This is something that has been a recurring theme for generations in your world, and we would like to say that nothing could be further from the truth. You have not been abandoned. You just have not been aware of all of us surrounding you from all the other dimensions, looking in from time to time to make sure that you are okay, to make sure that you are progressing nicely along the ways that you're needing to progress spiritually. We haven't tried to make contact until this generation, as far as telepathy goes. This is a relatively new thing. You live in what you call the space age, And so we decided it's time that you hear from beings from other spaces, other dimensions, other times. We live outside of time in our culture, our race, Arcturians or Arcturians, if you wish to call us that. We do not live in a physical realm. We don't live on a physical planet. So we could tell you where in space we live in relationship to where you live, but it won't mean a lot to you, because if we gave you the coordinates and you flew there in your spaceship, if you had one, you would see that there was nothing there. Are you guys saying you live in the Crab Nebula? All right. They live like in the Crab Nebula. They're showing it to me. It's like pink, like hot pink. Okay, so that's kind of where they live. Kind of. We live above that area. If you wanted a physical location, that's a location we could relay to you, but it's not that you would be able to relate to us, because we live an existence that is far and away, or far and above your level of experience and or comprehension. But we wanted to bring up these ideas as a potential for lifting your consciousness, raising your vibration, helping you to think outside of the box, helping you to understand that other life forms outside of yourself, your pattern of your body, there are beings that are intelligence, or of intelligence, or intelligent forms, and they live in a realm that has only really been comprehended by the likes of Ray Bradbury or Gene Roddenberry, all of the science fiction writing berries, if you will. We have been able to look in from time to time and read these books, and we love the vast mental landscapes from which these fictional stories come from. Because some of you have made the leap to imagine that beings outside of physicality, the way you know it, do exist and have intelligence and have something to offer you. We are so grateful that we have the opportunity to come and serve humanity in a way that we can expand your reality with our presence and our ideas. We feel humbled by this fact. We understand that these ideas are very new to some of you. The idea of channeling is freaky, as some of you say, freaky. It is indeed strange. It's yet another form of communication. And even though it seems interesting and outside the realm of possibilities to many of you, you're still here listening to the message because your soul, your spirit, knows it to be true. It is a true form of communication. When you are in your earthly heaven, you communicate with telepathy. And channeling, in the way that you are hearing it now, is nothing more than that form of communication, the telepathy form of communication. It's only been in your recent history in which you all have discovered that there are different forms of communication. Emotional intelligence comes to mind, nonverbal communication, social cues. These are all other ways in which you do communicate with each other without words, out loud with your voice box, without opening your mouth. Writing and typing and texting are other forms of communication. We love to communicate through humans who have a voice that can contain our message, and we love when it happens via telepathy. We also love when it happens via direct channeling as well. But, and they're saying in like, Daniel Scranton. Are you guys the same that come through Daniel Scranton? We are one and the same. And I'm getting a yes on muscle testing as well, guys. So cool. I'm glad to hear that, actually, because Daniel seems like a really nice person. They're saying it's funny that you don't know him, because you do know him when you are not in your current realm of existence. Yeah. We're friends in heaven, basically. Indeed. They say yes, indeed. Indeed. That's the truth. Cool. I love that. I always kind of felt that about when I saw him. I'm like, oh, what a nice guy. He just seems like such a sweet person. Like someone I'd sit in a garden with and have a conversation. Maybe sit in a coffee house or a cafe with and have a cup of coffee with. He just seems like that kind of a person to me, that I would enjoy hanging out with him. If you guys ever go check him out, you'll understand what I mean. He just seems like a really easygoing, just a kick-ass person, Anyway, so let me get back into this. All right, guys. We want to know more. What can you tell us about what are we going through, and when will more people become aware what's happening? Can you see our future, like virus-wise and economy-wise, or everything? That's what is on a lot of our minds, actually. If you want to talk about that, if you want to talk about something else, that's okay. But these are things that humans have been very, I won't want to say uptight, but we've been very scared. We've been very afraid. People are starting to speak out and rebel in the oddest of ways, screaming about masks. They refuse to wear one because they have freedom, and choosing freedom might be choosing the freedom as well to die. So what do you have to say to us about that? Arcturians, please, if you can address that. We would be happy to address all of these concerns. We do live outside of time, as well as outside of space as you know it. These are hard concepts to grasp, even if you feel and know that you can grasp these. There's still quite a bit of a large pill to swallow for most of you. I'm feeling like less physical by the minute, by the way. Like my hand just suddenly, now I don't have, I'm here, I'm recording, but I just got less tense. I feel it. I wonder if I could walk by people that are still very mired in the denseness, will I be invisible to them? Woohoo, invisibility cloak, yes. I digress. Okay, guys. They're laughing at this. They're saying, yes, indeed. Multidimensionality is a mind trip. Literally, it is a mind trip. You are taking a vacation, a trip through all the different possibilities of your physical world, and your crystalline bodies vibrate so high that you can go up into other realms. And you can go back down again, and you are all starting to play with these concepts and these ideas of being here now, but also understanding that you're there too, wherever there is for you. They're saying, we're not purposely trying to sound vague here, but we understand this does sound vague for some of you who have not experienced the fact that many of you are living on other planets right now. You are living other lives right now in other dimensions and with other people or other beings from other planets and other galaxies and other solar systems and other universes. And in parallel side dimensions, as well as higher vibrational dimensions that go up. We listened into the Blueprinters episode last night, and we wanted to let you know that it's not you floating in a cube randomly without connection to other cubes, other planets, other systems, other galaxies. The way that the Blueprinters came off, some of you were questioning whether we're just off in a cube somewhere, like an ice cube in a glass. I don't know which one of you heard or thought that, but that's hilarious that they picked this up. Okay. You are all connected to all the other beings in all the other dimensions, in all the other ways that they exist. It's going to take quite a bit more years, decades, centuries even, to understand all of this, and we're not commenting on your ability to think or anything. It's just that there's so many layers to these concepts. There's so much going on that it is impossible to fully explain in a sitting or in 10 sittings or in 100 sittings of this channeling, because most of it has to be experienced directly by you to understand it. Many of you are in the process of achieving God consciousness right now, as we live and breathe, which we know is one of your earthly sayings that we happen to really enjoy. You are all going through, you're saying changes in our throat chakras? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I'm on the right path with this one, okay. You are all going through changes in your throat chakras. And it is beyond just having a power to your voice. It is having lift in your proverbial wings. It is giving rise to your ability to tap into creation itself. And when we say creation, we don't mean the world that was already created around you, but the act of actually creating. You are all very close to that. You have to go up in vibration and go down in humility. The more you raise your vibration and understand the universe, the less your ego is engaged. So the more your humility is increased. And when you raise up high enough in vibration, you will begin to discover that your words must be chosen carefully and must have a great deal of meaning and will definitely be played out before you quickly. We are warning you because it is coming. Do not get into negative things, negative states. Do not say things in jest, even, because your words are powerful and they are happening quite quickly. They emphasize quite. That was a very weird way I said that. But say and speak into your existence the things that you wish. I am grateful. I am wealthy. I am so happy. I am loved. I am so grateful that my romantic life is on track and that I am loved in a romantic partner way. And they're saying, no, we know that many of you are in different, every one of you is in a different situation with your relationships. We want you to know that we understand. But if you are single and you're sad or scared about it, don't talk about the sad or the scared parts of it. Talk about the brilliant joy that you're about to feel when that person comes into your world. Speak them into your existence. Speak your body's healthy. Speak your mental health healed and perfect. Speak your level of intelligence up. Speak your friendships as pure and innocent and filled with more love than you can handle. Speak your negotiations as smoothly and winning for everybody. Speak your business relationships and business contracts as lucrative for everybody involved, and as a point of lifting up your communities and your worlds, your neighborhoods, your families. Speak everything as if everything in every day in every way is increasing in value, increasing in power, increasing in love, increasing in creativity, increasing in fun, joy, mirth. Speak your truth, but focus on what it is you wish to see in your world. Now, we know that you have been no stranger to this concept. We know that this is something that has very much been in your world already as an idea. We had a little bit to do with that, but other beings of light have had something to do with that. Even your spiritual masters and your ascended ones from thousands of years ago have been telling you that your words are mighty and have power. This is why this helps us so they're trying to tell me something that doesn't make a lot of sense. This helps us in our confusion. Is that what you want to say? This helps us increase our confusion at times when we look at you and we scratch our proverbial heads because we are not in physical form. We don't actually have physical heads, so this is a funny concept for us. We laugh quite a bit when we say, we love your earthly phrases, and we say this among ourselves a lot. We will say things like, that has me scratching my head, and then we all have a good laugh. We just don't have heads. Oh my God. All right. Makes sense. All right. That one really tickled me, man. That was hilarious. So we find it funny that for many generations you've had spiritual masters telling you the truth, and you will only listen to part of what they say. And not you directly, but many of the people in your world, in your life, in your families possibly, have had these remarkable lives filled with a complete and utter lack of personal insight or spiritual light bulbs going off in their heads. We urge you to reconsider some of the words that were said by your Yeshua and your Buddha, your Maitreya. Many of these people told you the absolute and utter truth. And many of you hear it and go, oh, that's nice, that's nice. That's a wonderful piece of philosophy. What a wonderful concept that is. If only it were true. And we laugh because so many of you, we're not pointing our fingers. We don't have fingers. Yes, now you get our mirth. We have a lot of fun with these sayings from Earth. We really find them to be very hysterically funny from our perspective when we use them. But we don't want to single any of you out, but we understand that many of you will say, oh, that's such a good idea. What a wonderful concept. Love your brother as yourself. Okay, love your neighbor as yourself. All right. And then you proceed not to love the people near you. Oh, it's hard to implement these ideas, and it's fun to think about it, but it's not really something I could be bothered with today. And then we watch as you honk at people in traffic and you say, well, I hate that person over there for supporting this person in public office. We find these behaviors so contradictory, and it's part of one point in which they're saying this part of one. There's something you're not saying that's in proper English there. I don't get it. I think they're like kind of coming across like three different concepts at once, and it's being jumbled in my mind, guys. So hold on. It is a point of mirth as well as confusion a little bit for us, that you can embrace a concept and idea in one moment, and 5 minutes later do the complete opposite. There's conundrums and confusions. They're trying to make a poem now. There's conundrums and confusions that lead to our contusions and lead to your confusion. When you ignore your Confucius and isn't that mentally delicious? When many of you are loquacious and expressing your desires and lighting all your spiritual fires, and you feel you're in the fever and you dance your heart away long into the night. And what happens the next day is the source of our mirth and our delight, because we see how very contradictory the whole human race can be. They're saying we like to discuss things, sometimes in poetry and rhyme. Not all of our channelers are open to our form of artwork, and we're grateful that you were this time. Yeah, I'm always open to rhyming. It's fun. They're saying we love your rap. Well, your rap music is very creative, very fascinating, and we feel that if we were there living in your world today, in physical bodies, we think we would very much get into the rap scene. That's hilarious. They say, but we would discuss principles, very high vibrational spiritual concepts and principles. We hope that our messages have gotten through to the right people. We know who you are. We love you all very much. We want you to just be aware in the moments in which you are contradictory, in the moments you are bringing that energetic shift. And when you come to that moment, there's a conjunction, like a Y pattern in a road. You have to decide which way to go. And when you pick the right road, you will flow freer in your world. We are asking that you always pick the highest vibrational pattern, the highest vibrational road, and listen to your philosophers. Embody, embrace what they're saying. Your words have power. Your words have meaning, and you are divine. You are divine. That is our biggest concept and message we wish to get across to you today, is that you are divine, and you're only becoming more of who you always were. As you become less dense, as you become aware of energies, as you become aware of other things, don't judge your experiences, because they are experiences. And they're saying that they felt some of you judge me for eating meat still, because some of you are vegan. But that, they're saying, is your experience to experience the plants on an energetic level. And they're saying, me, Elena, that I experience animals on an energetic level. And they're asking you to get beyond the idea of life and death, because nothing ever dies in the universe. There's just the energetic transformation of thoughts and ideas and experiences. Get out of your pain bodies and stop holding animals to their pain body, and stop ignoring the pain bodies of carrots and potatoes and beets and rutabagas and chard. Stop ignoring that exists. These are enough concepts for the night, they say. We do not judge. We only are here to teach and give you a different perspective. We have been having such a wonderful time interacting with your world, and we do love you. We are always here with you. We are pleased to be in your world in whatever capacity this takes form. And now they're laughing again because they have no form. I love you guys so much. Thank you for the energy adjustment and for helping all of us understand higher principles. They say it is our great pleasure. Thank you so much. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have been pleased to work with you today. All right, well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Don't forget to nominate me in the awards thing. I'm hoping that this will give me a year's worth of advertisement so I could build up the show and more people could come along, and eventually we can have some lively discussions. I do have the Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast page on Facebook. A lot of you have gone there, but not a lot of people have actually had conversations. Just strike up a conversation and talk to other fans of the show. That's why I created that page, so you guys could start talking about some of these concepts that the ETs and the extra dimensionals and the interdimensionals and the ascended masters are saying, and God himself are saying to you. Everybody is talking to you. And you're not talking to each other about it yet. And I wanted to encourage it. My higher guidance is saying, hey, why don't you encourage that? So anyway, there's that. Check me out on Instagram, mermaidgirl888. That's my personal private one. It's the only one I'm using right now because I had issues with the other one. But I have a picture of my actual face. If you want to go check it out. It's in black and white though. Anyway, I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. I wanted to thank you for your ongoing, continued love and support of the show and me personally. I just feel the love and I'm so grateful. I'm always sending you guys virtual hugs, and I'm always praying for all of you because I do love you, and wanted you to know that. If no one else told you that today, at least I did. I will be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. And for now, though, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.